So we return, and these guys are all up here. Injured one and the new one. They've got their bows ready. Yeah, at this point, the goblin tries to douche us, saying that he wants a large ransom as well for Sildar. And Sildar says, I told you not to trust him. And at this point, I think there's nothing we can do. We try to cast the spell again, as these guys feebly charge up. The wizard will take a step forward and attempt to cast, so we can reduce that range a little bit. That is a range of, it's going to be a range of 2. Become -2. Needs a 12 on the casting. And let's see. Let's do a contested intelligence roll to see the reaction here. Oh, Goblin loses by 2. And this will be against the Seaver, the smart wizard. So, okay, he gets his casting off this time. Okay, he gets it off in time. Eesh. It's the end of the turn, though. It doesn't take effect till the end of the turn. It won't matter, actually. So he casts 13. Oh, no. He fails. He miscasts that. And wastes a fatigue. He can't do it anyways. Let's roll initiative. Oh, the good guys go first. So I failed to cast. These guys do run up to here or so. They can't get far with the thief, I guess. And then it's the bad guy's turn. So Sildar is dropped, pushed off, falls. The book says he'll take 2d6 in D&D terms for damage. I'm fine with that. I could look up his hit points and double it and do the fall equation for GURPS, but it's comes out the same anyways. Pretty close. GURPS fall damage. So that will be 10 damage to Sildar. So he is down -10. And that is a major wound. He has to make a health check. Give him a health of about 11. He fails that and falls unconscious immediately, and is dying. At this, the cleric will turn and not fight any longer. He's going to try and help him immediately on his next turn. These guys, arrows drawn, let loose. This is the worst case scenario. We couldn't preempt anything. We did not get any sneak attacks. We're charging up a hill. Yeah, worst case scenario is happening to us here. First shot into the dwarf. They're both going to shoot at that dwarf because they know how deadly he is. So that is a... Oh, yeah. That'll be a hit. And second shot... 13. That's a hit right on. First one into the shield, hopefully. Fails. Fails to block one. First one. Tries to dodge the second one. It does so. Nice, okay. 1d6 plus 2. 7 damage into Flint. He's got good armor, so 5 of it is gone. Soaked up by the armor. He takes 2. It's impaling, so plus another 1. So he takes 3 damage, putting him down to 10, and that's going to give him a shock penalty on his next attack. Or does he have high pain threshold? Yes, he does. He doesn't feel the pain. Well, he feels it. Just doesn't hinder his performance. And the bad guy spent his turn effectively doing a ready maneuver, affecting an object, shoving our poor Sildar. He crumbles into the cavern floor below. Up the hill charges Flint. Yeah, that's a single one step, and he's in there cleaving, chopping down lumber like he does. That's a hit. The goblin needs an 8 to dodge. There's a 9. Close one. Close but no cigar. Sorry, buddy. 2d6 plus 2. That will be 9 damage. His leather hide armor, I guess it is, brings that down to 7 damage. Cleaves him in half. Not quite in half, but huge gash in his midsection. Done. That was the healthy one. The wounded one is here, reaching. Well, next turn he'll be reaching for a. Okay. Step and heal. He needs a successful IQ check. He does so. He needed a 12. He rolls a 9. He will give. Oh my goodness! He's at like -9. Oh. He's got 10 fatigue. The cleric gives all his fatigue, all 10 of it, to Sildar to put him to 1 hit point. And with that, the cleric must make a health check to remain conscious, or he collapses. He has a health of 10. He fails. The cleric is healthy, fine. He's just so exhausted he collapses to unconsciousness after healing Sildar right back up to 1 hit point. Basically brings him back to life because he was going to bleed out and die. Wow. Okay, things are getting interesting. The thief will charge up. He can move 5. So there's 3 to there. Yeah, he can get right in the face of this one and attack. It's a moving attack. He needs a 9. No, not going to do it. With their turn. He attempts to fast draw an arrow. He probably, at this point, draws a sword because he's ready for the full-on combat. Frontal combat now. He took a sword from a dead goblin. He draws his sword. Yeah, I think he has to draw a sword this turn. This guy had a sword in his hand, and he will move and attack the thief. He needs a 9. That'll do it. That's an 8. The thief will attempt to... What's his best defense option here? Dodge? Parry? No, he'll try to parry. Oh, yes. Oh, I rolled the wrong dice, but... yes, he parries. We've got ourselves a sword duel going on here in the background. This guy is facing the incoming dwarf. Back to us. The ineffective Seaver, the mage, can do nothing but move up and tend to his unconscious friend, just probably checking him at this point. There's nothing he can do. He's absolutely useless in this combat. He could cast Slow Fall on somebody in case somebody gets thrown off the cliff, maybe. He could haste somebody, whatever. Hopefully. By the time he gets that haste cast, it'll be 2 rounds from now. He's gonna start casting great haste on the dwarf again. He's gonna have to move up. Darn it, he can't do anything here. He's gonna full move up behind the dwarf. That's it for his turn. The dwarf is working on the railroad, brings down... we've got a critical failure on the dwarf's axe swing. That is not the time to be rolling that. Let's roll on the critical miss table. You drop the weapon. He drops his axe, and it clanks down the stairs. Oh, how the tides turn sometimes, eh? The thief is in there. He's in a bad spot. He takes a swipe at the goblin leader. That's a miss. And then it's our bad guys. This goblin swings at the dwarf. That's a hit. The dwarf will try to block. He's still got his shield, so... uh-oh. That's a 12. He does have a block of 12. Roll damage. He just barely managed to block that, so the shield takes damage, and that's not enough to hurt the shield. And the goblin leader swings at the thief. That's a hit. The thief attempts to parry with a 9. He needs a 9. He takes the hit. This is going to hurt. Yeemic. Oh, okay. He hits hard with a 3. Let me just double check that there, and yes, okay, so he takes 1 damage. The thief takes 1 damage, puts him down to 4 hit points. He is now at half hit points because of that nick, and he wants to step away on his turn, by the way. That attack still gets in when he... Well, let's not bother with that then, I guess. Boy. Okay, back to us. This goblin is wounded. He has 3 hit points. The dwarf has a knife on him. Does have a knife on him. He'll draw short sword. Can he use? He doesn't know how to use. He can use. Oh, he's got first aid. He could help. Anyways. The dwarf moves away out of combat. Picks up. Moves back and picks up his axe. That's all we can do. The thief turns and runs back down to here. The mage steps back, continues casting. He can do single step maneuvers without ruining his concentration. The bad guys, they have to press the attack. They have no bargaining chips. I think the goblin chief will run in at the thief and attack. Moving and attacking needs a 9. No, that's not going to do it. This goblin, happily, given some space now, drops the sword. Yeah, he'll drop the sword and pick up the bow. That's all he can do. Our turn. The dwarf will step up with the axe and swing. That's a 12. He needed an 11 to hit the goblin. Yeah. Okay. The thief will attack. That's 11. That's a hit. The goblin chieftain will. That is a 9. He fails. Fails to parry that. Oh, 6 from the elf again. Another 5 damage. Yimik has 12 hit points, taking 5 damage. DR reduce that to 3, and then because it's a cutting, slashing attack, we add 50%, so that's 4 damage from 12. Puts him down to 8. That's not a major wound for Yimik. Casting again. He'll step up and cast next turn. We'll take it. Does it come into a... is that a... Great Haste takes 3 seconds to cast. He's still casting. Okay. The bad guys. Counter-strike. Here comes Yimik, the goblin chief there. Oh, with a 14. That's a whiff. Loading the bow. Fast draw? 12. Yes, he fast draws. He's shooting next turn. Back to us. Casting. We need a 13 for the Great Haste casting. It works. He casts it. Oh, the dwarf is hard to cast on. He's got a magic resistance of 3. I needed a 10. That's careful. You got to be careful on that. The dwarf is a tough customer to get magic to effect. Even beneficial. He can't lower his magic resistance. Always on. That's a good roll, though. That's almost a critical. So next turn, Great Haste will take effect. The dwarf Flint swings his axe at the goblin chieftain. Ooh, that's a hit. Goblin chief tries to parry, needs a 9, and critically fails. Critically fails. Oi, oi, oi. That's just a defense roll. We won't roll anything on the random tables for that. His day is about to get rough. Here comes some damage. What was it? Plus 1? 2d6 plus 1. That's 10 damage minus 2 from the DR. So it's down to 8 damage, but it's cutting damage, so we add 50% to the 8 after damage, and that will be 12 damage. And Yimik is gashed open, just like every goblin before him we've met along the way. The thief, feeling brave, charges up, move and attack on the archer goblin, and whiffs horribly. The goblin archer, he's got a target right in front of him. Steps back, lets the arrow go at the thief. Oh, that's gonna miss, actually. 13. Oh, shoot. That hits because he gets a +1 because of size difference. That hits the thief. The thief tries to dodge, fails miserably, and takes, oh boy, oh, thank heavens. takes 3 damage, impaling. 2 damage is reduced because of the leather armor. And Leaf survives another day. He's down to 3 hit points. Okay, he's got to learn his lesson. He's not charging anymore. Back to us. I'm not going to bother rolling initiative back and forth anymore. Nonsense. The dwarf is great hasted. So he charges up to there. And then, yeah, that'll be 3 to get there for his first attack. His first turn. He gets a second turn, basically. He will just attack. So in this situation, because of his double speed, he does not need to move an attack maneuver. He is just attacking now. So he just needs a small goblin target. So he needs an 11. That'll do it. The goblin tries to dodge as he feebly ducks out of the way holding a bow that's empty, an unloaded bow. Fails his dodge miserably by, well, not miserably, by 3. Oh, that's a weak damage roll at a flint. Okay, so that's 6 damage, down to 4, reduced down to 4 due to the armor, and then plus 50%, so back up to 6. And that goblin had 3 hit points left, so yes, he is chopped down like cordwood. And there was much rejoicing. Yay! We win. Okay, we killed every single goblin. Oh, no, we let 2 leave. And we killed the rest. Killed a bugbear, killed a wolf, pet wolf. Now we've got an injured Sildar. So we all come down, gather around, and we try to revive our human cleric. Flint has some first aid. Being the good fighter man he is, he's got a 9 in it. Rolls a 10. Well, with that roll, and since it's not in combat or anything, will allow him to take extra time, which will give him a +1 to roll. So after an hour or 2 of tending to Cedric, the unconscious cleric, he is able to be revived with, 1. It's 1d6 minus 3, I think, per the rules for fantasy settings, but we'll just kind of hand wave that anyway since we're not in combat. So he revives, applies first aid. So he is missing hit points. So he gains 1 back. He's up to 5 hit points. Just resting for 2 hours would let him recover naturally. His fatigue points at 5 or at 1 every 10 minutes, I believe it is. Okay, well, that was something special. Success. We will rest here. We've got Sildar brought back from basically death. I think, well, we rest here for a couple hours and that's it. I think we got to get out of here. We're going to ransack the place. Come up here, get the treasure, anything, sacks, bags. We're just going to rifle through everything. Yimik there has 50 gold. 15 silver pieces and 3 gold teeth. Not much. And Sildar, at this point, they converse with him, and he says he'll award them 50 gold if they are willing to escort him safely to Phandelver. Once he gets there, he can make payment. At this point, our characters are gladly going to take that, because we've got to go to Phandelver anyways still to get this darn cart there. Our original goal, to take the cart from Neverwinter to Cart of Supplies, from Neverwinter to Phandelver for Gundren Rockseeker. He was going to meet us there. Gundren, it seems, is in another castle, so we can't get paid yet from him, I guess, but we can at least get Sildar back to town. We can rest up and heal, and then we're going to have to go off to this Cragmaw, looking for this Cragmaw castle, which the goblins would have gave us a general direction to, the ones we questioned. And they also would have mentioned that the black spider is involved, whoever that is, and that he wanted the map. I think we have just an inkling of what's going on there. No details otherwise. So yeah, that's how Cragmaw Hideout looks when played in the GURPS system with some low-powered PCs. They put up a good fight, the bad guys. There was a couple dicey situations where a couple guys could have died, but overall it was fairly easy. I didn't do anything super amazing gamey to game the system or anything. Yeah, I think that worked out pretty well. I had 100-point characters, being the equivalent of D&D first level characters. Yeah, that was a good map. I must applaud Wizards of the Coast or whatever for this map. This double back and over the top is really great depth. That adds some really neat depth and interesting opportunities to combat, especially in a game like GURPS, where you can have grappling fights up here and shoving fights and throw people off and stuff, or the height advantage with archery gives you a reduced range due to elevated position, all that kind of good stuff. Now, I was kind of hoping to get into a fight on this, maybe chop the bridge. It's wood though, it's not a rope bridge, so I guess that wouldn't have been effective. But yeah, pretty cool. I like the dammed up portion they have up here, how they can wash people out. Great map. Well done for a starter adventure module. I really like that map layout, and I would use that in other games. Anyways, okay, on to Phandelver for our $50 payment, and we're going to collect some character points and spend them there. Stay tuned for the next episode to roll on.